You're ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
Go for it then.
All right, I'm Lloyd Walzer, president of Lucia Mar Teachers Association, and here today to talk about cuts in our school district. We've already cut over $9 million. We're looking to cut possibly a lot more money. We've already laid off quite a few teachers. We have temporary teachers who may not have jobs next year. We have huge classes. And we really need for the governor of the state and the state legislature to step up and fund education, because the kids deserve it. The kids deserve support staff. They deserve to have reasonable class sizes. They deserve to have the best support and the best staff that we can provide for them. Therefore, it's extremely important that this next school year we urge our state officials to fund education. Thank you. Any questions? Yeah.
If an all cuts budget goes through, what kinds of things how would that impact teachers, classes, the district? Talk a little bit about
all cuts budget could possibly result in more layoffs. It could possibly result in more teachers laid off. It's definitely going to result in less support for kids in terms of the tutoring, materials, access to adults who can help them out.
Any way you look at it, it's a shorter school year. If those tax extensions don't go through, children will come to school less days. That's all there is to it. The school year will be reduced.
Do you know, like to 175
or more?
Some schools are going a month.
$5 million, an additional $5 million in cuts. That's a month of our payroll. That's a month's payroll. We only have $2.5 million in reserve. It's not like we have a big piggy bank here to go grab from. So we're going to have to find those cuts someplace. It will affect programs like athletics and after-school programs, Bright Futures, all those kind of things it will affect. Yeah, go for it.
I'm sorry.
Just have a pocket right there.
Look, I'll send you the video.
You have to say who you are, sir.
Hi, I'm Edie Koss. I'm CSEA president, which represents classified employees. And we're here to let everyone know that these cuts are devastating to our children at Lucia Mar and throughout the state. Our whole state is suffering from these state budget cuts. And our students need and deserve a wonderful education that Lucia Mar has been able to provide. These cuts, we see larger classrooms, we see less library time, if maybe none. We see no computer labs for our children to learn all the technology. We're asking that you contact your legislators and let them know that we need a budget that's going to support education and our children. And because at this point it is vital to California and to all of our kids that live here in this area and throughout the state. Any questions?
Do you know how many classified employees have already been laid off in the past couple of years of cuts?
I think 30, close to between 20 and 30. That includes computer lab assistants, some classroom assistants. Librarians are cut to very minimum hours. A lot of our people are some reduced the reduced year of employment to some of the transportation department, mechanics. That's basically, I think, most of it, which will make a difference in our classrooms and in the way that the district is operating.
They're going to be unsupervised.
We'll be yelling at you.
No breakfast for lunch for those kids.
I'm Rob. Ron Walton. I'm the principal here at Oceano Elementary School. And over the last few years, we've seen the budget steadily decrease, and that directly affects students like those at Oceano who are in need of intervention. We rely on the extra support systems we have to keep our kids up with the rigorous state standards that have been passed down. As the budget diminishes, we are able to afford less of those kinds of programs. After-school programs like Bright Futures go away, and it directly impacts the kids, especially the kids like those of Oceano who need these kind of services in their life. So we're encouraging families, citizens in the community, and the state legislature to really take a look at their budgets and what they can do to allocate the proper money for education so our kids can get the services they need, our teachers can be supported, and schools can do their job. Thank you.
Although that's an improvement.
My pocket? Put this in my pocket?
Oh, that's not ours. Yeah.
All right, great. Hi, I'm Colleen Martin, president of the CMR Unified School Board, and I'm here to ask Mr. Blakesley and Mr. Asajian, our assembly representatives, to vote for the tax extensions. Without the tax extensions, the CMR has already cut $3.5 million from our budget. We will have to cut an additional $5 million. $5 million is a month of our payroll. $5 million could be almost every non-teaching position in our district. We can't cut that far. It will include reduced days that kids are in classrooms progressing with their academics. This is not what our community wants. Our community wants and values education, and we need our assembly people to vote for those tax extensions. Thank you.
The district sent a letter to both just Blakesley or Blakesley and Asajian?
Both, yeah.
Did you get any response from either?
I don't think we've gotten a response yet, no.
Will you be doing an additional letter or additional
Yeah, we'll be
outreach?
following up with phone calls and more letters. So.
Yeah. The thing is, Cal Poly is our neighbor. This is such an educated community, and we all value education. And for us, by our actions, aren't saying that we do value education at all. And we're doing a fabulous job with such little bit amount of money. Our ADA, our per student funding, if the tax extensions don't go through, will include a 25% reduction since 2007. Most of us in our own family can't handle that kind of reduction. Imagine what it's like here in the school. We're getting less than $5,000 per student to educate them for 180 days of the year. Okay. Did it. I don't have carpal tunnel and that's all I can tell you.
My name is Jim Hogaboom, and I'm the superintendent of the CMR School District. And the schools in general have taken more than their fair share of the cuts over the last few years. And we realize that health and human services and education are the biggest part of the budget. But education, as I said, we've lost, as Colleen mentioned, about 20% of our budget so far. We've already planned a $3.5 million budget cut for this year. With an all-cuts budget, we're having to project another $5 million in the district. So that would mean more furlough days and layoffs, more than we have, and all the cuts that are just devastating to the system. It's just becoming impossible to really run a decent educational system with the funds that we're being provided. So we're all here together, our teachers unions and our classified unions and our school board president and our administrators, to really urge the legislators and the governor. I know Jerry Brown's supportive, but an all-cut budget is just going to devastate our system, and we just can't allow that to happen. So we would urge everybody to contact Sam Blakesley and Kachu Akajian and talk to them and let them know that we can't let this happen anymore to the students in our state.
I was speaking to Senator Blakesley's office this morning, and they were talking about how there's a have you heard about this $2.5 billion extra in receipts than they expected, and they're thinking about using that to plug plug the hole that Governor Brown is wanting to cut, which is also $2.5 billion. Do you think that that would be enough? Is that the kind of answer you're looking for?
No, I definitely think that's not going to be enough. I mean, totally, we're looking at what, about a $25 billion deficit, and so we've made, you know, hard cuts of $12 billion so far. But that leaves $12 billion left that still need to be cut. So getting $2.5 billion more in revenues is great, but that's